Welcome everyone. I think it's time 29. Yeah. Welcome to this online workshop. I already did one about backbends, I think, and it was okay. I also did a handstand. Yeah. It's like a class, but it's a little bit longer, and I will try not to talk too much. I don't know if I will succeed in that. You never know. So we will start in a nice lying position because I hope that you have like a good environment where you can tell people to leave you alone for like 1.5 hours, which I think it's quite a lot of time for if you don't live alone to really say to people that okay, like now it's my 1.5 hours of not disturbing. So that's tough. I think I'm going into the microphone with my sweater, so I'll just remove it. So yeah, that's something very hard, and real life workshops have definitely advantage in that, and that's why real life workshops can be a little bit longer, because you don't have the distractions at the home. You can really be there with yourself. Everyone is doing the same thing, and there's nothing else that exists at that point. So I believe that's probably a little bit better. However, we'll try our best, and I always like to say, like, to my partner that I'm going to do something, even if I am practicing. I usually actually practice in the morning because of the reason, because I don't have to tell anyone, because I'm the only one that is awakened, except for my cats. And they disturb me a lot, so communicating it with like people, or not people, but creatures, like people that can understand, for example, kids, they won't understand that, okay, this is your time. It's really challenging. But we will still try. Lie on your back and open your knees so your feet will stay together. And you can close your eyes. Try to shift your shoulder blades down towards your hips. And really adjust your neck also, so the back of your neck is longer. Allow your feet to slide on the mat if they need to, and I like to open my palms towards the ceiling, also like adjusting your watch. If you have a watch on your hands or something, that it doesn't scratch on the ground is a good thing to do. And then just try to imagine yourself as if you could fly away or even leave your body and stand or hover above, just seeing yourself in the setup of your room, even imagining the room that you are in, imagining the furniture around you, the floor, the color of the walls, of the floor. And then try to imagine the air, how it fills the room, how it touches the walls, the ceiling, the ground, how it goes around, like if there was a wind, or if the air had color, and it's moving all the time, so it's sliding along the surfaces, and it's definitely just a tiny bit more lighter on the top. So on the top near the ceiling, it's even less less molecules per area, so imagining it being more fluid on the top, and then as it goes down towards your body, it gets heavier and more dense. And even with all the weight of the air, it can press you down. And it doesn't press you just down from the top, but also from the sides. And it also lifts you a little bit. So imagining that there is air just like one molecule layer in between the ground and your body. And this presses you up. The same as in water, you are pressed up a little bit. You're floating just a little bit. Also in the air, there is a little bit of that feeling of being lighter because of these properties. And then as you feel your skin, as it touches the air, allow it to release down, allowing your face to relax, your legs to feel heavy. Bring the awareness, the focus to your upper body, to your chest, to your belly. And just observe how it moves with your breath. Very easy way of breathing, nothing forced, nothing controlling. Trying to get to know yourself, get to know your breath. And go even deeper, imagining your lungs and your organs in your belly, how they move with your breath. So going really right underneath the skin, underneath the muscles and the bones. And as you're inhaling, just a little bit of growth in your chest, in your lungs, expansion, maybe expansion in your belly, and as you exhale, there is a little bit of decrease, everything getting smaller. And then get in towards your hips, since this is the topic of this class, and try to breathe a little bit into your hips. So with your next inhale, go a little bit deeper and allow your hips to grow as if you had lungs there. And feeling a little bit of tension from the bottom, from your pelvic floor. Resisting your inhale, getting your organs like not letting them to get loose, and as you exhale, releasing your pelvis, your pelvic floor and your hips from the sides, from the front, from the back. Inhale even bigger into your belly. Exhale. Inhale. Again, grow your belly, your hips, resist from your pelvic floor. Grow your lungs, your ribs to the sides. Exhale, allow the ribs to collapse, your belly to come down and in, and your legs to release. Inhale into your belly, into your ribs, into your collarbones. Exhale, collarbones, ribs, belly. How much can you slow down your breath? Inhale. Exhale. Go for 2 more. Inhale Allow everything to grow just a little bit taller, bigger. Exhale. Allow everything to release, to get smaller, to shrink, and even squeeze at the end. Inhale, last one. Deep but also slow. And as you exhale, go even slower, as if the air had a hard time to leave through your throat, but also relax at the same time. Okay, big inhale through your nose. This time go a little bit faster. And then open the mouth and then let it go through that mouth. One more inhale. And exhale. Okay, grab your thighs from the outer side with your hands and then clap the knees together like this. Bring the knees towards your chest. And you can move here a little bit to the right side, to the left. You can grab your knees. You can move the head to the right, to the left. You can keep your eyes closed and even triangle little circles with your knees to one direction and then to the other. And feeling this in your hips. So how does that one circle feels, especially after that long kind of hold of open legs? This might feel a little bit weird. If you want, you can try that you want to squeeze the legs together. It's just to counter, and maybe even bringing the right knee on top of the left, like eagle legs, and you squeeze that, and then you change, and you squeeze on the other side. Good. From here, grab your right knee and release your left leg all the way down. And allowing the left hip to really ground. You can use your left hand, press that hip down. And if you want, you can extend your right knee a little bit or all the way. And you can either grab your ankle, your big toe with your index and middle finger from the inside of your toe, or just keep your knee bent and grab where you can reach, and just trying to feel the stretch on your hamstrings here without that left hip lifting up. Inhale. Exhale, go a little bit lower, and if you want to go for more, you flex that heel in your right ankle as you press through your left heel down towards the ground. Okay, inhale and exhale. From here, open the leg to the side without your left hip leaving again. So very carefully go. It might look much different than it does in my case. You don't even have to watch if you follow my instructions. You can keep your eyes still closed. You can re-grab your leg, right leg from the inside, and still with your left hand try to push your left hip down. Still trying to bring your left foot down, even engaging your left glute, your left butt muscles, bum muscles. Again, flexing your right heel if that feels good, and try to release here as much as you're trying to bring that leg down. And then come back to the center carefully. You will grab the outside of your left knee or the ankle or your foot, and then you can shift the hips a little bit more to the right side, just adjusting as you go into twist. Right hand reaches to the right side. Doesn't have to be too deep. You don't have to touch the ground. It can be just the knee because we're just starting. So take it easy. Inhale. Try to reach through your right hand, through your right fingers. And exhale. Bring that left knee, left foot closer towards the ground. Inhale, come to the center. Again, using your core, your legs, shifting the hips back to the center, and then bring both knees back to the chest. Adjust, inhale, exhale, left leg comes all the way down. You can point your right leg, your right toes. Try to press your right foot, your right heel down towards the ground, keeping your knee straight, and then extending your left knee to a position or variation where you can feel your hamstrings. And then find your breath again. Inhale and exhale. Go a little bit deeper. And you can flex your heel in your left leg if that was not enough for you. If you feel like going a little bit deeper into the back side of your right leg. Inhale and exhale. And then re-grab. You can grab from the inside of your foot, from the inside of your knee, and carefully start opening your leg. And now make sure that you are watching your right hips, that they are trying to ground down. You'll be holding there for 3 breaths. Inhaling, stretch your right foot down away from your body, and exhaling, trying to open your left hip a little bit more. So you're squeezing your glutes slightly to create that external rotation and what is it? It's mostly external rotation and hip opening on your left side. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, come to the center very carefully. Re-grab the foot with your other hand or your knee. Left arm opens. You can look to the left. You can shift the hips a little bit to the left before you twist to the right side. You can flex your right foot if that feels better. I feel like this brings me a little bit more control. And even imagining that I have wall right underneath my right knee or heel, and I want to press through that right heel. Inhale, reach to your left fingers, try to bring your left shoulder down if it left, and exhaling, twisting. Inhale, come to the center. Control it, use your core, your legs, and exhale, bend the knee, bring your right knee also to your chest. You can again move here, feeling a little bit different sensation than just a few moments ago when we had those legs open. Now we close them also at the same time. And it was not just passive, we were trying to engage the muscles a little bit also, so it's definitely much more blood coming into your hips. Grab your knees under maybe and round yourself, so lift your head and start doing a small rocking motions back and forward. If that feels good, you can go several times until you can sit. We will stand all the way up any way you want. Okay, so we will go and do more hip movements. I think my cat woke up, but nah, he's continuing sleeping under the blanket. You see, these are the distractions that you have. Even me as a teacher. So the feet as wide as your hips, and we will bring again the right knee in towards the chest, trying to keep your balance on your left leg, press away from it, engage from the outer hip. And if you have troubles with balancing, you can always use wall somewhere close to you. If you are fine, you can use your left hand to fix your chest, so bring it on your chest and trying not to move with your chest, but actually mostly with your hips. Bring it onto your hips, that will be a little bit better. So just being aware of what's happening in the left hip. And then come all the way up with your knee and try to release it with your hand. You can grab the other hip also with your other hand. And again, trying to be more conscious about where they are. Definitely not having your right hip a little bit lower. So you try to press from your left leg, and you want to bring that right hip just like 1 millimeter, a little bit higher. From here, flex your right heel in the ankle, and we will open the leg to the outer side. So this is external rotation. And then notice what your hips are doing. So do they have a tendency to move also? Try to bring them forward rather than having your knee all the way pointing to the side. Another thing is that you don't have to bring your knee really high. So once you go to that openness, you can bring it to the level of your hips and then open it. And then try your best, squeeze your bum to open the leg all the way. And we'll go for an internal rotation. So the heel will start rotating out behind you, keeping your hips in one line. This is very challenging. Trying to keep the knee still pointing to the right. Just the heel will lift, but the knee is lifting actually also. Okay, and then notice how much you are tilting to the side. Try to counter that. We will reach back all the way behind, even bringing the knees next to each other. Actually, not next to each other, but in like two lines. And then trying to reach through the heel back. Then bring the heel towards your bum. Squeeze it in. You can flex the heel if you feel like you will get a hamstring stretch. Bring your belly back in if it left you. And then bring the knees together and squeeze them in towards each other. Okay. From here we'll go for an internal rotation, external rotation again. So heel comes to the left side. Knees are together. Then reach forward. And then bring the knee forward. And from here, the heel out. It doesn't really matter actually which direction you go, but I want you to try in all the positions, release your legs. In all the positions of your leg, so you have the flexion, which is knee towards your chest, and here you have external rotation and internal rotation. So every time you go forward and backwards, or the other way, you try both in and out position of your thigh muscle. These exercises are called also functional range conditioning, FRC, where you're trying to go to every range of your joint, and you try to move to the extreme point and you halt there for a little bit, and you're really trying to focus a lot of what is engaging and where are your feelings. So left leg, left knee to your chest, going for a maximum flexion, knee towards your chest. You can bend your knee, you can flex your heel all the way. And then already here, if you are trying your best, even use your hand first, bring it higher and then release, and then try to hold there. This is your end range, and you are trying to have it not just when you have your hand passively, but also actively. Good, then release the knee a little bit more, down, and we will open the leg out, going for an external rotation. So your heel wants to go forward, but there is also a abduction, so abducting the leg away from you. Then turn the heel behind you with the knee staying abducted away from your other knee, but internal rotation. So your left heel is lifting up. Your hips might be moving, doing something that you don't want them to do. You're trying to isolate the movement. Then come back. So extension in your leg. You want to bring the knees in two lines, and you want to reach back through your heel. Good, inhale, and exhale, bring the knees together. And now just bend the knee and bring the heel to your hips. This is actually nothing. You are squeezing your knees together, so there is adduction and there is hamstring work in your knee. And then coming back. So reaching back. This time we will internally rotate, so the heel comes to the side. We didn't really do the other thing, but doesn't matter. Then come with the knee away first. Fix your hips if you lift your left hip too high. So you're trying to abduct the knee away Then we'll go for external rotation. So bringing the heel down, the knee up, and then even a little bit higher, then forward, and then external rotating the heel to the right side, and release. Okay, shake your standing leg. And find yourself in the front of your mat, feet as wide as your legs, your hips. Relax your hands beside your body, turn your palms forward, and just close your eyes and feel the ground underneath your feet. Just trying to be familiar, again, getting to know where you are standing. So we can shift your weight more forward and then tiny bit backwards. It might not look like you're moving, and notice how the muscles on your legs engage as you move forward. It's more the backside of your legs, so it's your calves, your hamstrings, maybe your glutes that are starting to work. And then as you shift your weight backwards, it's your thighs, so your kneecaps might lift, it's your front shins, your hip flexors a little bit. And then again, shift forward, backwards, find the middle. Lift your toes, you can look at them, try to spread them, feeling all the activation on the bottom of your legs, of your feet, and keep it there. Just release your toes down and squeeze the legs towards each other. Think that a reduction, a deduction, so engaging from your inner thighs, and then engage from the outer hips, squeezing your bum and your outer hips. An opposite action, so the adduction will create a little bit of internal rotation, and the squeezing of your bum is creating a little bit of external rotation. And also engaging from the outer hips is actually creating a abduction of your legs. Then bring your belly in, your ribs in, fixing your core, open your collarbones a little bit, and then broaden the space in between your shoulder blades. Bring the chin to your throat just slightly, creating a very almost invisible double chin. And then as you inhale, reach a little bit higher through the top of your head, as if you could grow 1 more centimeter. Inhale there. Exhale. 1 more time. Inhale, close your eyes. Exhale through the nose. Inhale, reach your arms super high, shoulders to your ears. Stretch up. Exhale, palms to your chest, bend the knees. And bring your body to your thighs and fold, lifting your hips up. Inhale, halfway lift. Straightening your spine. Exhale, palms down, step back, high plank. Inhale here in your high plank. And exhale, go chaturanga push-up. So going down just slightly, reaching your chest forward, long neck, and then press up, and then bring the knees down, untuck the toes, elbows down. Inhale, slide, as if you could slide the chest on the ground. Into your cobra, lift, shoulder blades down. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. We'll go 1 more time. Inhale, roll your spine like a wave forward, shoulders over the wrists. Exhaling, bending the elbows, squeezing them in. Inhale, press up. Exhale, knees down. Untuck the toes, elbows down. Inhale, slide into your cobra or upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And then settle in your down dog. I think you don't have to move your knees. If you feel still like doing it, then maybe you do that little bicycle, but maybe you find a still down dog already. Try to stretch from your shoulders, still keeping your fingertips actively pressing into the mat, your inside palms pressing down, your triceps rolling in towards each other, an external rotation. Keeping your core, your belly, your ribs in, and then trying to point your sitting bones a little bit higher. You can bend your knees slightly in order to do so. And then the last thing, try to bring your heels down. Maybe you lift your toes to spread them, and then release.
release them, keeping the engagement in the whole body. Look forward, inhale, bend the knees. If you want, you can already start jumping forward or stepping forward. Inhale, halfway lift. And exhale, fold. Squeeze your core towards your thighs. Inhale, we will come up with straight spine. So start with your head, with your chest. Your arms can come to the sides. Reach your arms up. Stretching up, exhale, palms to your chest. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, folding belly to your thighs, and then lift it. Squeeze the space in between your belly and your thighs. Inhale, halfway lift, long neck. Exhale, palms down. Stepping or jumping to your chaturanga if you want. Inhaling, lifting, rounding your upper back. Exhale, knees down, elbows down, and tuck the toes. Inhale into your back bend, cobra or upward facing dog. Create space in your collarbones. Exhale, downward facing dog. Big inhale in your down dog. Exhale. One more inhale. Exhale. Lift your heels, look forward. Inhale, bend the knees. Exhale, stepping or jumping. Inhale, halfway lift, long neck. Exhale, belly to your thighs, squeeze them in and then lift your hips. Inhale, coming up like a bird. What was it? I just forgot the name of the bird. Reach arms up. Exhale, palms to your chest. You know, the white bird with long neck. Shit. Sorry. It's not peacock. It's not dove. Inhale, reach your arms up. And this time we'll bend the knees. You can bring your palms to your chest. Chair pose. So settling in your chair pose, we will stay here until I remember the name of that white bird. A very elegant swan. Oh, this was too fast. I remember too fast. So sometimes teachers say like a swan. I don't know why, but if you go with like a little bit of back bend down and up, and you wave your hands to the sides, it's like a swan. Yeah. Although swans are not like flying as often, right? And like just because they have long neck doesn't mean that they are going through a back bend, but whatever. They're elegant, so it's an elegant way to go. You can bring your arms forward and then squeeze your glutes and feel how it like brings the weight away from your thighs. So if you like to squat, if you like to do stuff in your squat, like when I want to reach something, I prefer to squat rather than like round my spine or going through like the swan dive down. And this way, it's really like a lot for your knees and for your quadriceps. And if you engage your glutes, really squeeze them in, then your legs become much stronger. Or I don't know, maybe not. Inhale, sit a little bit lower. Release the fingertips down, lift the hips, and straighten your knees if that feels good. Inhale halfway, and exhale, we'll step the right leg super far, very slowly. You have time. Bending your left knee, leg in that squat position, reaching your foot really back. Right knee comes down. Inhale, reach your arms up. Anjaneyasana. Squeeze your belly away from your left thigh, and then bring your hips lower. Inhale, stretch higher, and exhale, palms to your chest. So from here, we'll focus a little bit more on the legs, so we don't have to use the arms. Imagine you want to squeeze the legs towards each other. Bring your belly in again if you lost it. And if you have your back toes tucked, you can imagine you want to bring your back knee a little bit higher. And this is a perfect pose for splits if you want to learn, or if you want to get a little bit more open in your right front hips. Especially if you don't want to be in a deep back bend in your splits, you have to have that right hip open on this side. Engaging your right glutes is essential, so your right glute must be firing as you try to press your belly away. Inhale, here you can reach your arms up, and exhale, flex your left foot with control, shift your hips back, and you can fold slowly forward with your arms going beside you with palms facing down. One more time, inhale, come forward, arms up, exhale, coming back and bowing down, fingertips down, our palms down, step back, chaturanga push-up as you exhale, inhale, press up, exhaling knees, elbows down, inhale, slide, open in your back bend, exhale, downward facing dog, inhale, and exhale. The right leg will come super high and will not open the hips, so we're trying to squeeze the inner thighs, pointing your right toes or pointing or flexing the heel, doesn't matter, just so that you have like an intention of reaching higher, all the way away from your fingertips. Inhale, exhale, knee to your chest, round your spine, then step the foot forward, left knee down the other side. Inhale, reach your arms up, belly in, come a little bit higher with your hips, and then try to keep squeezing your lat glutes as you bring your hips a little bit lower. You can release your hands. You can even bring your palms on your low back and on your belly to be more aware of what's happening there. Again, back toes can be tucked. They can also be untucked. Doesn't matter. As long as you're pressing with that back foot down into the ground, slightly lifting the weight away from your left knee. Inhale, belly away. Squeeze the legs in towards each other from all four sides as you bring your hips a little bit lower, feeling the stretch on your left leg. Reach your arms up, inhale, and exhale. Flex your right heel with control. Bring your hips over your back knee. Bow down, arms beside you. Inhale, reach forward and up. And exhale, fingertips reach forward. Knee step your left foot and do it with control again, trying to bring most weight onto your right foot before you can bring the left foot away from the ground and stepping it forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Okay, stay here. Grab your big toes with your index and middle finger from the inside of your toes. You want to inhale and lift halfway. You can bend the knees always to do so. Opening your collarbones, straightening your spine, and exhale. Imagine you have something in between your ribs and your thighs, or if you can, squeeze the thighs to your belly as you lift the hips and release the head. Inhale, slight lift in your chest, as if you could straighten your spine a little bit more, and exhaling, squeezing your hip flexors to compress your low ribs to your thighs. Inhale, bring your shoulder blades away from your ears, so try to lift the shoulders up, and exhale, use also your hands to bring a little bit lower. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, go deeper, moving the weight more forward over your toes. Last one, inhale, exhale, inhale, lift, halfway, extend the elbows, exhale, release, bend the knees, sit the hips a little bit lower, reach your arms forward. Inhale here, squeeze your glutes. Exhale, stand for 3, 2, keep squeezing your legs, your glutes. 1, release. Bring the legs as wide as your mat, with your toes slightly facing to the outside. Inhale. As you bend your knees, they will open to the side, so you're trying to open them. Arms forward, wide squat. Inhale. Exhale, stand all the way up, arms to your palms to your chest. This time, inhale, arms forward, and sit all the way down, as deep as you can, with spine staying straight. Squeezing your glutes to the outside, opening the knees. And then coming down up for 5, 4, don't rush, 3, keep squeezing, and 1. One more time down, inhale, exhale, sit down, and coming up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale here, arms forward, exhale, sit, palms down. If you like, you can frog jump into your downward facing dog or chaturanga, wherever you want to go. So if you go into your down dog, you can go into vinyasa from there, or you go from a vinyasa from your chaturanga if you want. You can do that push-up. I totally failed doing that, but it's okay. And going for, or the press up, going for the knees down, elbows, and sliding into your back bend. Enjoying the back bend. Maybe staying here for a few more moments. And then come to your downward facing dog. Then bend the knees. Look forward. Before go that we wanted to go only with one leg back. Step or jump forward to the outside of your palms. Little squat, inhale, arms forward, exhale, release. So this time we will step the left leg back all the way and come to your lizard. So now we're starting to go a little bit deeper into those hips. Here, helpful thing is if you have something to put underneath your forearms, like a block. If you don't have that, I don't expect actually anyone to have blocks at the home. You can stay on your fingertips a little bit higher. You can take a little break with your left knee down on the mat, just to get your breath, getting back to your internal stuff, to your internal movements, to the things that get automatic and you don't realize that they're there, like your breath. If you are ready, once you're calmed down your system, you can take your left toes, lifting your left knee. You can come a little bit deeper with your upper body, coming onto your palms. If your wrists are sore, stay on your fingers. Or you engage your legs a little bit more. So that's another way. So you bring your weight more to your legs, less onto your palms. Bring your belly in, chin to your throat, just so your neck is not always extended forward. Going for a nice neutral supported neck. And then you can squeeze the right knee towards your right shoulder, walking the fingers forward, getting long and more engaged in your legs. Inhale, exhale. If you want, come to your forearms, but it's very optional. You can shift here, keeping your belly, your chin in, and slowly palms down, step back, chaturanga, push up, or any kind of vinyasa you want, or coming onto your downward facing dog right away. And waiting for me to get there, because there is no one else. Good. Big inhale in your down dog. Stretch from your shoulders, always. Support them. And exhale. Left leg will lift. Slowly, with your knees staying maybe straight the whole way. Squeezing your inner thighs, not allowing your left hip to open up for now. Point your toes, spread them, flex the heel, whatever you want to do here. Engage from your shoulders. You don't want to dip here down in your shoulders, supporting your belly, your ribs in. Inhale, lift your left leg using your left glutes. You can lift also your right heel already. Bring the knee to your chest. Compress it in as if you wanted to kick your chest. Heel high, rolling forward, shoulders over your wrist. Flex your left foot and step it down. And walk it a little bit to the left, to the outside of your left palm. And going for your lizard on the other side. Again, you can release your knee down. Staying here on your fingertips. More on your hands maybe than on your legs. So your legs can relax for a little bit. Keeping your left knee and your chest at your shoulder rather. Big inhale. Calming down. Exhale. Slow. Tuck your right toes, lift your right knee, engage from your butt, from your both butts, squeezing your inner thighs, walking the fingertips forward, 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 and then bring the chin in to your throat. So trying to have the head away, or your face rather, away from the ground. Inhale, get longer from your fingertips, through your shoulders, your back side, to your right glutes, and your right heel, and then release or come back, maybe onto your elbows. So having a little bit more support. Imagine that you want to open the legs, or if someone could grab your left knee and wants to bring it forward, and your back heel or even your back toes sliding back a little bit more. Inhale, exhale, come onto your palms. Very slowly, they're shifting forward. You can move your back foot a little bit closer. Prep your fingertips forward so you can step forward all the way, with the legs coming wide and sitting down into that squat. If your heels will lift, that's totally okay. You can always walk them a little bit wider, but it will be much harder to hold your little yogi squat. There are several options. You can use something underneath your heels, and then try to open your knees without actually passively opening them. Cat is just waking up, but then I'm getting back and cozy. I should have brought him here so you can see how cute he is, although he is mostly underneath the blanket. Get the spine straighter, palms together. You can grab your palms like, I don't know, like this. This is what like dancing partners hold each other like this. But otherwise, I don't know if there is any other situation where you would hold someone. Maybe if you want to like meet them in a special way, lift a little bit higher with your hips, and then you can finally bring those elbows from the inside of your knees and allow your legs to open passively a little bit more, but keep your glutes engaged. Inhale and exhale. Okay, so your right foot will come forward and you will try to face forward with your toes. You can bring your right palm down, lift your hips super high, prop yourself with your left fingers, and step your left foot very far back. And then bring the heel down. So your nice open variation of almost like that lizard pose, but we are going for the side angle, and you're trying to open the legs this time, stretching them open, not just keeping them in one plane, but this time going open in the plane. Left arm comes up, inhale. If this is too much, you can always come a little bit higher with your elbow onto your knee, but not much weight, please, on that hand. Keep squeezing your legs out this time. Reach your left arm up and then exhale, slide it over your head, stretching your left side. Inhale, exhale, look down, strong legs, strong core, bring yourself up. Stretch your right knee, left fingertips to the outside of your left leg. Right arm comes up and back, side bending. Inhale there, exhale, strong legs, squeeze them towards each other, and then slowly come back to that second warrior. Inhale here, exhale. We'll start switching or shifting forward. You can always walk the back foot a little bit closer. You might reach your fingertips down or onto a block or books or something, chair. And once you have your whole weight on your right leg, lift the back leg, keep your hips open, and then extend your right leg in your knee, without locking it, trying to have that leg super active. This time we are externally rotating in both the hip joints at the same time as you are flexing in your right and extending in your left. Bring your upper body a little bit higher, coming all the way onto your fingertips. Look down. Try to keep your balance as you maybe lift your right fingers away from the ground. Inhale, maybe left arm comes up. Exhale, palms down, step back. Bring your left heel up, left fingertips underneath your shoulders, squeeze your legs together, open the right arm up. Inhale, and then exhale, flex your right leg, right foot. You can come up down onto your right palm if you like, or stay on your fingertips and pivot your left heel down as you open the heel and the foot and the knee out to the right side. Inhale, reach your right arm up and back, lift your hips. And exhale, release the hips, but keep resisting with your right hand, squeezing your left side, feeling the stretch on the outer side of your right leg. And come back, palms down, and then switching the legs. So the left leg will step forward, little squat before we continue. Inhale and exhale. Left foot will start facing forward, left palm down, prop yourself on your right fingers. Right leg will step super far away. It doesn't have to be really in one line with your left leg. It can be in two lines. Your toes are slightly pointing forward. Then open the right arm up, even trying to go with your left knee away from your left shoulder. If you're up on your elbow, still the knee is trying to open. There is nothing wrong in opening the knee all the way out, rather than having it facing inwards to the inside. Since the point is to open the legs out. Activate them, squeeze them towards each other, then look down and slowly lift, use your core. Then finally extend your left leg. Right fingers to your outer right leg, maybe even underneath the knee. Left arm reaches up and back, stretching your left side. Inhale, exhale, come back. Carefully transitioning to that Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. You can slowly walk the back foot closer, left fingertips forward and a little bit to the left before you bring all the weight onto your left foot, then lift your right leg. Engage from your core, your belly in, and try to really make sure that you're opening your left and also your right hip side. So your hips are working on squeezing and outward rotating. If you like, look down, inhale, and maybe exhale, lift your fingertips. Inhale, maybe your right arm comes up. Exhale, slowly stepping down and back. It's very far away with control, and then you can adjust to have nice long stance. Right fingertips down, prop up your hips, use them to press up, and then twist only your chest up. Inhale, exhale, release. First, we will try to bring the right ankle down, flexing your left ankle, opening it, reach your left arm up. Exhale, dip your hips down. Inhale, we didn't do this actually on the other side, doesn't matter. Inhale, reach back above your head. Squeeze the hips high. Keep pressing from your right shoulder and then exhaling, bringing the hips lower. Good. Come back. Step back with your left foot. Take a little break, child's pose. Sitting back with your hips, forehead on the ground. You can keep your arms overhead. You can bring them beside your body. Big inhale in your child's pose. Through your nose. Again, trying to calm your system, calm your everything. Making sure that your exhales are getting even slower. Every time you inhale, you go deeper. Try to bring more oxygen. And every time you exhale, you try to slow it down. Blinking your eyes open if you like. You can stay here for a little bit. You can roll the forehead on the mat. Maybe closing your eyes again. Because we'll go for the hard stuff now. I'm just trying to get your brain ready, and then bring the palms underneath the shoulders, press up into a sit. Coming to that lizard pose on your right side. So you can start from your plank, just simply stepping your right foot forward. In your lizard, we'll go deeper. If you can, you want to try to come onto your forearms, if possible. If you are on your forearms, the other step, the other level is engage from your legs. So bring the hips a little bit higher, and then allowing them to just dip here down, engaging from your core, and maybe you will walk your right shoulder underneath that leg. In order to do this, you can grab your right ankle with your right hand and push it. You can even release your left knee down actually. So you want to push it. The higher you lift your hips, the easier you will get there under. If your hips are low, it will be really hard and inactive. It will be really hard or harder to bring that shoulder there. So keeping your hips high, wherever your left knee is. Then maybe you lift your left knee, maybe not. Walking the fingertips to the sides and maybe lifting the fingers. Staying here in this nice airplane. Trying to feel all the sensations in your right hip. Inhale, exhale. Then your left hand will grab your right ankle. Your left elbow can come down. So it's like a little frame for your foot. Here. Your back knee can come again down. You can stay here, nicely prepped. Again, adjusting that shoulder underneath your knee. And if you're here, if you feel okay, maybe bring your hips now low, really low, walking the left knee backwards. Next thing, bending your left knee, bringing the foot away from the ground. I'm just adjusting here all the time. If you have that, hopefully no hamstring stretch, you can flex the heel if that helps. That helps me every time. Now, in order to grab your foot with your right hand, you have to lift your hips a little bit maybe, bringing the foot a little bit inwards. So there is an external rotation in your leg. And then rolling on top of the meaty part of your knee, bringing the hips low again, bringing the foot towards your butt, the heel to your butt. Good, your legs are still engaged. And then carefully release. Okay, little break in half splits. Flex your right leg, right heel, bring your hips over your back knee and fold from the inside of your right leg. And staying here for a little bit, allowing that hip to, or the hamstrings rather, stretch. Actually the hip is still in the same position. Stay there with your inhale. Exhale. My cat is leaving. Bye-bye, Gusto. And then we'll bend the right leg again. We'll go even deeper. So we didn't really prepare a lot here for that leg behind the head, but we'll try it anyway. In order to do so, again, the hips needs to go high, so walk the back knee super close. You're still grabbing the ankle with your left hand. Your left elbow is down. Grab the ankle from the other side with your right hand, and then you walk that calf really high on top of your shoulder. So that's like the first step. The higher you can get that calf, the easier it will be. If you can do that, then you bend your neck, chin to your throat, you look under. This might be where you end. Maybe you try propping that calf, trying to bring it behind your neck. If you are there, you can walk your knee a little bit more backwards. Maybe you grab the foot and you bring your hips a little bit lower. And then slowly you can release away from there. Doesn't have to be too deep. You always have the rest of your life to go a little bit deeper. Changing the legs, so step the right leg back. You can go through a vinyasa if you feel like doing that, or just going directly. Actually, this back bend here feels really good in your vinyasa every time, especially if you're rounding a lot. So doing at least that back bend might feel really nice. left leg. So we'll do the same thing on the left side. Coming as low as possible. Here, maybe your knees on the ground. You're already taking a break here. We already are doing stuff for 1 hour, so that's already quite a lot. And you might start feeling a little bit exhausted. Engage from your legs. Then bring your hips a little bit higher. Walk the palms back. And you want to grab your left ankle with your left hand, bringing the shoulder underneath your knee, even behind your calf. And then either staying down with your knee or lifting it. Walk the fingertips to the sides. And maybe lift them like an airplane, flying here for one more breath. Exhale. Then grabbing your ankle with the opposite hand. Your elbow is down on the ground. You bring down your right knee, walk it in just a little bit more. And maybe stay here. Maybe you bend your right knee even more, bringing the foot away from the ground. Always adjust the length. You try to grab the foot. Inhale. And exhaling, bring the hips down. Even walking your left foot more forward if you want to go a little bit lower in that leg. Inhale here. Exhale, go a little bit lower with your hips and carefully release the foot. Walk yourself higher with your hands. Flex your left heel, bring your hips back. Suddenly the hamstring stretch feels good. Inhale. Exhale, bow down from the inside of your left leg. Inhale, come forward. And we'll go and try to go for that head under. So your right hand grabs again your ankle. You grab that calf and try to bring it as high as possible. Walking the back foot a little bit closer, creating like a nice space here in between your legs, really high, enough space for you to try to come down with your head. Not going really high, so trying to really go all the way down. Just notice how much I'm rounding here in order to bring the head a little bit lower and down. And then I walk my right knee a little bit more backwards, maybe grabbing the foot and then lowering the hips even lower. Inhale. Wherever you are, exhale. Carefully coming away from the pose. Big inhale. Palms underneath the shoulders, left leg steps back. Exhale, chaturanga push-up. Press up maybe. Coming onto your preparation pose like a child's pose, but without head down. Inhaling into your back bend. And exhale, downward, facing dog or child's pose. Big inhale wherever you are. Exhale. Then we will come from the down dog, stepping or jumping forward and setting the feet through and forward. Into a staff pose. Relax them for a little bit, shake them out and inwards. You can flex the heels. You can try to bend the knees a little bit to bring your hips or tilting your pelvis more forward. You can use your fingertips to the sides. Bring your ribs in, the belly in to support your low back. Release the shoulders down, maybe extending the knees. Inhale and exhale. Then we'll lean back. Right knee comes to the chest. Maybe no hands. Try to bring your heel super close without actually maybe even lifting your right hip. How much closer can you bring your heel? Then use your hand. Bring it even more closer. Squeeze it in. From here again, no palms. Maybe bringing the fingertips behind you so you can lean a little bit more back. Bend also the left knee. 90 degrees, bringing the left foot down. And then try to bring your right knee in. Bring the right, bring ankle on top of your left knee. opening it into a number 4 like position. The right knee comes away from you, noticing if it does something in your hips. Another option is to lift your hips and bring them more forward. So lifting and leaning or shifting forward, and then shifting your palms closer, your chest more forward, trying to bring away that roundness of your spine. So your spine long, riding away from you. Inhale and breathe out. Carefully shift the hips again back. If you can, try to lean forward to grab your foot and your knee with your elbows. Maybe extending the lower leg down, maybe pointing your toes. If you want, or if this is not really good kind of version for you to grab your foot, you can bring your elbows from underneath, and you can try a different kind of position of your arms. Hold. I prefer this one. Flexing your right ankle also is a little bit better, and without actually like forcing your foot, your knee away, just use your muscles to try to bring the knee slightly away, pressing the foot into your left elbow. Then again the same thing. Knee tries to come onto your shoulder. You can grab the ankle or your calf muscle. So your calf muscle wants to come as high as possible. Okay, then walk your right hand all the way to the back and to the right. It will open your hip. Doesn't matter if your sitting bone is down on the ground. Maybe try to keep it grounded for now. And option number 1 is to grab the foot from the top with your left hand with the opposite hand, and then extending the knee, twisting away in a compass pose, or maybe you just stay here, both fingertips behind you, and you try to extend that. Like, this is actually harder, but maybe more accessible if you have more troubles to grab your foot and going into this passive stretch. And then can you go and grow to the ceiling? So can you become taller in this pose? Exhale, release. From here, keep the knee on your chest, on your shoulder like backpack. Bend your left foot, step it in, again as close as possible to your hips. You can use fingertips on the ground on your left hand in order to find a squatting position. From here we will stand up, so you have several options. Either you use your fingertips, you lift your hips, or you try to find a bind here behind your back, maybe grabbing your left wrist, maybe not, and you try to stand from there. This is super hard, especially if your ankles are suffering here, to even stay here. Maybe your heel is lifted. So just do your best in order to find that yourself in a standing position. If you are here, maybe grabbing the fingers behind your back, finding a bind, or even that left wrist is option. Trying to bring your upper body straight as much as possible. Your leg will probably slide it down. It's okay. Try to do your best. Inhale. Exhale, extend your leg for bird of paradise pose. Another bird. It's all about the birds today. Inhale. Actually, this is just the second one, right? Exhale, slowly coming down. Can you maybe go down without touching the ground with your right leg? And release. Sit down. Shake your legs. Palms behind you, fingers facing away. Bend the knees. Step the feet closer. Reverse table. Bend the elbows slightly to lift your hips up. Look up, inhale. Exhale, squeeze your belly, squeeze your glutes. Inhale, stay. Exhale, slowly lower your hips down. Good. Second leg. Extend your legs. Find your Dandasana step pose. Inhale. Exhale, lean back. Bring your left knee as close as possible. Really close to your hips. Really try your best. And then use your hand and bring it even closer. Inhale, chest higher. Exhale, prop up yourself with your fingertips. Step your right foot down. Left foot lifts. Ankle on top of your knee. Open the knee away from you. Inhale. Exhale. You can walk your fingers closer. You can lift your hips. Shift them forward. Maybe one more time. Maybe you go away from it because it's too much. Keep opening that left knee. Chest higher. Inhale. Exhale. Come back with your hips. Until you can actually sit straight without your hands, and then you can lean or try to lean forward, grabbing the foot. So this might look very easy, but I know it might be super challenging, especially without using your hands. Again, trying to find your grip of your foot. Whatever it is, extend your right leg, that feels good. Try to bring your spine straighter, maybe pointing your toes or flexing, just trying to find something to keep your whole foot, your whole right leg engaged, although it's about the other leg right now. Again, trying to bring that knee away from you, feeling that stretch, going into that space where you don't feel it too much in your knee. So the more you flex the foot, and not just like keeping a sickle there, but also bringing the pinky toe towards the outer shin, might bring a little bit different sensation into your knee. Just higher. Exhale. Again, your left hand will grab that ankle and try to bring it super high on top of your triceps, maybe your shoulder. Even if your leg is really low, you can always bring the knee backwards. So the point here is the chest wants to go forward, the knee goes back. It's very similar like that lizard pose when you're going deeper down with your upper body and your knee is actually trying to creep up to the back. Keep both the thigh bones down, since we did it on the other side like this. Your left fingers slowly walk to the back. That also brings the knee backwards, and you try to bring the chest forward, maybe grabbing the foot from the top and from the outside as you extend the knee. And one leg might feel much harder than the second one. In my case, it's the left leg, where I had an injury in my hamstring, so this is much harder. Then go for length. If you are here trying to go up towards the ceiling, if you're not holding the leg, maybe it's harder, but you can do it at least. Carefully release. Step your right foot in. Sit or stand on your foot. Maybe no hands. And then you have options. Either you use fingers on the ground, or you grab your fingers, binding your hands behind you, standing all the way up, maybe helping yourself a little bit in the process for your bird of paradise. So again, try to straighten your spine here, which is really challenging to find length in that spine, and then extending through your left leg. I'm doing a very crappy job at straightening my spine, but this is it today. Release. Maybe you fold here, almost like hinging in your hips. Maybe you bend your knee rather, and you go into that squat, one-legged squat. Might be really hard. Release your legs, your hands, move your wrist a little bit, and go into the forward fold. You can bend the knees, grab opposite elbows, relax your neck, your head hanging, just feeling your spine, how it's stretched to both sides. You can sway to the right, to the left side. Bring your breath back. Breathing in and going super deep. And exhaling, allowing everything to feel heavy. One more inhale. And exhale. Release your hands down. Walk them to the front of the mat, your feet to the back. We'll go down onto the belly. You can go slow, you can go counting to 5 if you like. Slow chaturangas. Keep your back neck long, chin at your throat as you lower yourself, bending your elbows, squeezing them in towards each other. For 3, 2, and 1. Release onto your belly. Untuck your toes. You can bring your arms beside you and bring your face onto the right side, left ear down on the mat. Relax your shoulders down. I can't do that because I smash my microphone. So whatever microphone, whatever you want to do here, do, but relax all the way. Try to really be conscious of all the muscles releasing down, especially in your legs, feeling them heavy. And then bring the attention to your face, your jaw, your eyes again. Then bring the arms to the front, come to your Sphinx pose. We'll end up with with some back bends. Not little, but some. You want to press the shoulders away. Arms can come parallel, palms parallel. Engage from your legs. Press the tops of the feet down. Belly comes in, so it will lift away from the ground. You can also imagine that you want to press the pubic bone down. It will engage from your glutes, and then try to reach the chest forward as if you wanted to slide the palms back. Inhale and exhale. We will twist to the right side, so left forearm comes 45 degrees. We'll twist, 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 look back, bending right knee, grab the foot from the inside or walk the fingers to the inside. Inhale, kick it back. They will lift your chest, turn the chest forward actually, and exhale, bring the heel towards your hips. Just a little quadricep stretch. Inhale, kick it back again, as if you wanted to get your right knee straight. Your left foot is still pressing down, and exhale. Keep your hips, your right hips down as you bring your heel to your hips, butt. So you're squeezing your right hip without opening it. Still down, your pubic bone still down. Then carefully, very slowly, release that foot. We'll change to the other direction. So the right hand comes 45 degrees. Bend the left knee. Twist to the back. You can use your left hand to help you to twist. And if your knees will splay to the sides, try to bring them in again to have a nice neutral hips here. Twist the chest forward. Kick the left foot back. We'll lift you a little bit. Don't collapse on your right shoulder. Inhale. Exhale. Heel to your hips. Still squeezing the pubic bone down. Belly is still in. Inhale. Kick it back. Exhale. Stretch. Bring the heel even maybe to the outside of your bum. Carefully release. Stay here in your Sphinx. If you like, you can lift the elbows, trying to bring the chest forward. So feeling the upper back muscles squeezing as you lean forward through your chest, as if someone was pulling your chest forward, and your shoulder blades are sliding down towards your hips, and maybe walk the palms a little bit more forward. So go as deep as this feels comfortable. You can keep micro bending your elbows. Feet are active, still pressing down. Your pubic bone still pressing down. Your belly is still in. Inhale and exhale. Carefully lower. Turn your head to the other side. If you had it looking right, look to the left. You can bring your arms again beside you. Inhale. Really big exhale. Inhale again through the nose. Exhale, allow everything to release. And then open the arms to the sides. Lift the shoulders. And we'll go for a twist here. So we'll bend your right knee and go like a frog. So you want to slide it up. Arms will come up. The left arm will walk underneath your right, all the way towards the right side. And you will roll onto your left side, grabbing maybe your knee with your left hand. Your right hand will swipe above and go all the way to the right. And probably now out of what you can see, but it's just the same kind of twist with the knee bend as we did on the beginning. Try to bring your whole right shoulder down if possible. So your knee will probably lift away from the ground and probably away from the mat. If you have not much space, I'm sorry, you have to be shifting a lot to do this. Then coming back, swipe the right arm above the head. Left arm will come to the right side and slowly coming up, ending in that frog pose. And coming back, hiding the right knee, open the left knee to the side, reach both arms up, inhale here, and exhale, right hand walks underneath the left very far until you can start rolling onto your right side. Left arm sweeps above and then to the back. Maybe your right hand will grab your knee. Look to the left. Try to bring your left shoulder down. Inhale and exhale. Maybe even bring your knee closer to your chest. Will help you to go just a tiny bit deeper. And come back. Both arms up. Very elegantly press back into a child's pose. Again, feeling your head heavy on the mat. Allowing everything to come back. Allowing your whole body to just release down to the ground. Taking a big inhale through your nose. Breathing it out through the mouth. One more time, really fill up your lungs. Exhale, let it go. Slide the palms underneath the shoulders and lift yourself up into a seat. So, thank you so much for coming through these things with me. I know there is still one person that didn't left all the way. So if you want something special to try, you can always ask in the chat, by the way. I always check the chat, especially because this is workshop. It's okay to have a little bit of conversation, although I think some people are going to watch it afterwards, so they are not going to have it. But you can also ask me afterwards, since you are paying for this class. I totally am here for you to hear your feedback. If you like to, for example, film yourself and send it to me on Instagram or anywhere, even like contacting me on my website through email, I will respond to that. One more thing, so what we are going to do is, since the hips are open, we will go and in an inversion. You can choose if it's going to be a shoulder stand or a headstand or something different, and we will try to go and do some leg variation there. I'd really like to, since inversions are a little bit boring after a while, like just with the legs straight, I like to do some funny stuff and shapes with my legs and find a little bit of control there, finding a little bit of shift. So this is what we are going to do now if you don't have anything else that you want to do. I'm going to do headstand, and I'm going to do a puppy press into headstand, which starts with legs wider. Your hamstrings should feel quite open from here, so you can bring your forearms down, cupping your palms, interlacing your fingers, and then trying to bring the back of the head into the palms, pressing it there, keeping your elbows not too wide, to have nice foundation and kind of pressing point. You lift your knees and then you walk your feet wide to the sides. You try to bring your hips really high, so no roundness in your spine. There's less roundness, the easier it will get. And then you bend one knee, heel to your butt, and you go like a dog when he tries until he goes to the toilet. So opening the leg up, and then maybe your other foot will lift. Maybe you bend the other knee and then shifting. So having a nice open hips is great for this puppy press. Also in a handstand, using something to elevate your feet, or in forearm stand is possible, but much harder because you need to have really strong hands to stay a little bit more shifted forward. Headstand has the ability or the advantage where you already have enough weight backwards, and you don't have to use your arms that much in that leaning. So we'll try the other side. I hope you remember which leg you lifted. Bring the head down, chin at your throat, keeping the back of your neck long. Press from your elbows down. They should be supporting you. Walk your feet wide. If you lifted the right leg this time, it will be the left, or if it will lift the left, this time it will be the right. So I think I did the left first, so now the right. Open the legs, engage, and then you shift. There's like a little bit of side bend also happening. You keep pressing from your elbows down. Feet maybe touch together, maybe do like a diamond shape, and then coming down through the other side, side bending, controlling it. If you feel too afraid to just pose afterwards, you of course can use wall behind you, sofa behind you, anything that can help. Another nice thing to do in a headstand inversion is to do eagle legs, and also squeeze the legs towards each other rather than going for an open hips, is to also close them. So if you have your headstand, you can interlace or shoulder stand your legs, and trying to bring your knees away from you, and then maybe closing them towards you. Nice back exercise for a strong backside. Carefully coming down, taking a break, especially if you're not used to be in a headstand like I am, not used to hold it for a long time. Taking a little breaks in child's pose is great. Okay, if you did it, do it on the other side, just so we stay balanced. If you're doing in your shoulder stand, then just try to focus on reaching up, squeezing the legs. Maybe going down, maybe up one more time. And always carefully from a headstand, try to control how you come down. Taking a few breaths, allowing the blood to come back. And then lying yourself down from your inversion on your back, allowing everything to go, allowing your face to melt, closing your eyes, your legs and hands to be really heavy on the mat. Take a big inhale through your nose, exhale through the mouth. Enjoying your Shavasana. I hope you liked it, and as I said, you can always contact me even outside of this, even sending me the video or voice message is okay. Thank you. See you again next time.